Non Tere Plus Ultra.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. What have you been up to? How's it going? Let me just double check that everything is working. And then, guess what? We'll begin. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and move on over here. Welcome in, everybody. How are you today? Madrigal, you're here first. Welcome in. How are you? Bear, how's it going? Gigi, welcome in. How are you? Sassy, hello. And Sassy, thank you so much for the 55 months. 55. That is wild. Is it the next one will be 60? That's the next year. Will that be wait, 60 months? 60. Is that 5 years? Is that 5 years? Yeah, man, welcome in. How are you? Sage, hello. How's it going? Doing great. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling slow today. But we're doing good. How are you all? Yeah, it does feel. Part of me is like, have I been streaming that long? But yeah, 55 months is insane, and it's wild to think that in just 5 months it will be 60. That is very wild to think about. It felt like it was just the other day, Sassy, that you were first popping into my stream. It was just the other day. Amber's hello. Got lucky stuff today. Yeah, I saw them. It looks great, Sage. Bear, welcome in. How are you? Did you do candle stuff today, or is that another day? How are you all? I meant to start earlier, but like I just said, I've been feeling I was a little slow today, where I was like, you know, those days where you're just dragging your feet. That was me. This is Yemet. Still scared me though. Doing good. Ready for spring to come. Done with this weather. How bad is it over there? And you were trying to do that 800 dash challenge in that one game. Yeah, that was Hyper Light Drifter. That was I remember you stuck with me through that challenge. I never got it. I never got that challenge. I remember people were like, it's nearly impossible on console. Yeah, we're going with the candle shop instead of the other place, or in addition to. And what was it like? Did you like it better? What would you be doing? Jem, welcome in. How are you? Had snow and freezing rain today. Supposed to snow all week. Yeesh! You guys are probably getting more snow than we are. We're not. I think we're getting some snow maybe next Monday, but that's it. It's 30 right now. From what Emmer's posted, it looks like it's very cold, or it's colder over there. My first day volunteering tomorrow at 8. I'm nervous. I'm sure once you get there and once you kind of get your bearings, the nerves will leave you, because it sounds like it'll be very fun. Are you excited though? But you gave it a good old college try. I did. I did. I did try. I did not succeed, but I tried. Wasn't it the entire stream was just that? Emmy, welcome in. How are you? No snow for me, so I'm not sure I'll survive. No! How hot is it over there? Jim. It was nice and easy. She told me I didn't have to do much for my first day, but I grabbed a broom, started dusting out the corners, and she was like, I think you're a keeper. Oh, that's so nice. She sounds nice. She sounds great. I'm working with puppies tomorrow. Oh, that's excellent. That sounds lovely. That sounds like that'll be great. I'm sure I always get nervous the first, like, the night before I have a new job, or if there's like a new thing that's happening the next day, I'll always have trouble sleeping, but I'm sure it'll be excellent, Sage. We live near the lake, so unless it freezes over, we get lake effect. It is that darn lake effect again. I walked out of work thinking it was warm outside. It was 33F, but it was our first day above freezing in weeks. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what Alaska is like. If you live here long enough, it'll be like right now it's 30 outside. If I walked outside, I'd be fine, and like I won't need a heavy jacket. Like I will be like, I probably put on a hoodie, but that's all I need at that temperature, at least for a while. It'll feel warm. It starts to feel warm once you've been cold, or in the cold for that long. I told her my work ethic at the restaurant was, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean, and she laughed and liked it. Oh, that sounds good. She seems like a nice lady. How old is she? At least one of them, I think you did at least an hour on my first stream, and then the entire next stream was trying to get it, and the part of the next one, yeah, that sounds about right. I remember there was one stream that was like, if I, like, that was like my title, that like I was going to try to do the dash challenge, and I didn't. It might have been a shorter stream, because I think I gave up. Just finished chapter 5 of Paper Mario. Excellent. How often do you play Paper Mario? Also don't get much sunlight because of that. Yeah, that makes sense. And that surely adds to the cold a bit. Making it probably even harder, I would imagine. Toon, welcome in. How are you? Unbelievable, Toon. Toon, okay, so thoroughbreds. Give me all of your thoughts on thoroughbreds. I know you mentioned it a little bit in Daz's stream, but I'm curious Now that I have a chance to actually like respond to you, really. I thought she was my age, but apparently she's 40. Okay, very cool. So yeah, that's about how long has she been making candles? Got pretty high though. I think you broke 500 at least one. I think I had one good run and then did not, and then it stopped. For those that know, in Hyperlight Drifter, you can get an item or something if you do 800 dashes in a row. And there's this one place that is good for that. It's like a little track. I basically took an entire stream trying to do that. But what's hard is the dashes start off slow, but then it hits a point of like momentum, and you're like, it's like, at some point I think it stops getting faster, but controlling it is very difficult. And so like if you run into a wall, if you bump anything, it stops that like dash counter. So it is very frustrating, but it's every year sort of game. Oh, really? When I have nothing to play or waiting for a new game that I want. Oh, that's so fun. I'm glad that you like it so much. That's really cool. I've actually never played Paper Mario. People have asked me to play Paper Mario. I've said if I ever reach partner, Twitch partner, then I'll play it. 10 years that she's still there. Dang, so she's doing something right. That's awesome. And maybe you'll get a candle out of it. The candles are pretty nice, you know? I do like things smelling good, so. Oh, wait. Been dealing with a pipe bursting in my house over the weekend. Lots of fun. What? Tune. That is awful. That is no good. Did it just like, it froze or something? Thankfully, nothing of value was ruined and I have renter's insurance. Nice. That's good. Yeah, that is rough. Ooh. Do you have warm water right now? The purple outfit, which effectively doubles your stamina efficiency, but you basically have to run your legs off to get it. It was absolutely... I just kind of wanted to do it because I have done it before, but on... Because I think we were playing on PlayStation? Question mark? And I think when I played the game on the Switch, I was able to get it. But people were saying that it's much easier to do on PC. Because apparently what you can do is if you just leave your mouse in one position, like in between where like the dashes are, like would be, your character will just dash back and forth. But on console, you can't do that. So you have to do the full like loop without like hitting anything. So if you're playing on PC, it's much easier to not run into anything. You just have to get the timing right. But anyway. Dang, that is rough, Tune. I can't live at my house till it's fixed, so my renter's insurance is footing the bill for my hotel, and they're working on me moving me to an Airbnb. That is, well, that's at least nice. That's an excellent you know, compensation, I suppose. Granted, I'm sure you'd like to just be at your home, but at least that's nice. I once lived in a place here where, what happened? And did it happen? It was something like, I was at an apartment complex. This was before I started streaming. And the neighbor above me, their water heater, which was, our water heaters were in each person's unit in like the closet and like in the, like just off to the side in the closet. And their like water heater burst or something happened, started leaking. And so it leaked onto all of my clothes. And I like reported it. They change the water heater of the neighbor above me. They were like, oh, we're so sorry, whatever. I had to, I did not, in this one apartment, they didn't have, like, washer and dryer units in the unit. They had, like, a shared one, and it was paid. So I had to pay to then wash all of the clothes that were, wet from the water heater above. Then, like, a week later, or something. It very shortly after, it happened again, but it was worse because I think when the first one happened, I was at the place, like I was at home when it started to leak, and I noticed it soon. The second time, I think I was at work or something, or maybe it started like overnight and just didn't realize it until when I got home. It was like everything was drenched. Like my carpet was like in the closet, and the room was all wet, and I was just so upset because then like they offered me nothing. Like the apartment complex like didn't offer to pay for my getting my clothes washed, because I was like, this is unacceptable because like I just paid out of pocket to wash all my clothes again because of this, and then now it's happened again. And like I had a meeting with the apartment manager, and I feel like she was probably new and or just not comfortable with like dealing with any kind of conflict, because I sat down in the meeting, and one, she would not look at me in the eyes. She was like, I could tell she was like looking either above me or like away at every point. Like she'd be facing me, but she's just like never quite looking me in the eyes. And I was like, look, this has happened twice. And I had like a lease for like much longer. Like it was maybe like I had lived there for maybe 2 years at this point or something, and I had another 6 months on like I think he renewed it every like. I have very intimidating soulless eyes. That's probably what it is. So anyway, I had like another 6 months or something before I could leave. And I was like, look, like this is unacceptable. Like you guys, I had to pay for all the stuff, and now I'm gonna have to wash all my clothes again. Like I think I first was like, I need something taken off of my rent, like, because this is ridiculous. Because also, the carpet got so wet in the bedroom that I had to pull everything out of there. They had to do the whole thing where they like lift up the carpets. They had someone come in and bring fans. It was a very small unit, and so the fans had to run 24/7. And so like the fans are loud. They're like industrial fans. Like it was, I had to wear headphones pretty much the entire time, or like earplugs. It was like it was miserable. And I was like, so I'm unable to use the majority of my unit like during this time. So like I need to have my rent discounted for that. And she said that they wouldn't do that. And I was like, okay, well that's unacceptable. Like that's just not like whatever. And she just wouldn't really like engage again. She wasn't looking me in the eyes. She wasn't like she was unwilling to do anything. And then she was like, I will talk to like the regional person, and we'll I'll get back to you. And I hear back from them like a day or two later, and they're like, we have a gift card for you that or some gift cards or something for you that to kind of like make up for it. And I was like, okay, that's not quite what I asked. I was thinking, okay, maybe they're giving me like Visa gift cards, which I could use. I'm if I'm remembering correctly, I think to pay for laundry, they did introduce like a card system recently. Before it was like you had to use coins. It was very annoying. Because I never carry cash with me anyway, so like I had to go make change every time I wanted to do laundry. It was awful. Anyway, I get to the office and they're offering me Papa John's and Chili's gift cards. And I was like, I do not accept this. I was like, I will not accept. This is like in no way an acceptable trade or like offering for like the damage that was done. I had some boxes of comics that got wet. And like they're not like rare comics, but there are still comics that I had bought. Like, you know, they're not worth nothing. And my clothes that I had to wash, and the washer and dryer thing was expensive. So like I was like, I'm not accepting that. One, I didn't take it at all because I knew like they could take it as like I accepted their offer or whatever. So I was like, no, I do not accept it. Like, this is awful. Like, this is just, I'm not going to accept this as a trade, or as compensation for the damage and whatever. And for like the fact that I can't use my apartment, like I can't like, you know, I'm sleeping on a very uncomfortable couch, like, you know, whatever. Long story short, I was like, I need to have another meeting with the apartment, like manager, the property manager. She did not want to have another meeting with me. And so there's, the apartment complex is like owned by another company that owns different complexes here. She got another property manager from a different place to come talk to me because she didn't want to meet with me. That's how like again, she seemed either very new or like just not cut out for like any kind of confrontation. And I guess when you live in a place like an apartment complex where things break and all that, and you know, stuff like this happens, you're gonna need to be able to do this. I should say, I was like, because I was like, one of the other things that other options is I'm like, if you guys can't compensate me, like I need out of my lease, like there's no reason to live here if you guys can't promise me that my stuff is going to be safe. And at first the first lady, she was like, she said that they couldn't do that. And I was like, well, I need a promise in writing that this water, or because I was like, this water heater thing has happened twice in a row. That's not good. How do I know that's not going to happen a third time? And she's like, well, it won't, because the first time it was, the first time something broke, the second time the person installed it wrong. And that's why. So it won't happen a third time. And I was like, okay, well then I need in writing you saying that it's not going to happen a third time. And she was like, I can't do that. And I was like, okay, well then, you see, we're at an impasse because you can't promise me that the thing is installed correctly, and you probably would have said that it was the first time around. So like, something needs to happen. Anyway, the other property manager from this other location was like much more like, I think, just, you could tell she was a lot more like confident and businessy. She had that sort of like businessy vibe. And I basically just laid it out for her, and she was like, great, we'll like, let's try to get you out of your lease. And I was like, excellent. That sounds wonderful. And she helped me like get my full deposit back and everything. So like, I was like, excellent. Thank you. And I left, and I have never rented again from this one company because I just couldn't deal with it. They're terrible. Anyway, sorry. That was a lot of let me catch up with chat. Paper Mario is excellent. I have a little bit of a history with Paper Mario, a little of a bitter history, so I haven't ever played it. But I said I would play it if I ever reach partner. So if you guys want me to play it,
Get Jet to partner, then we'll talk.
let's see. I can't live at my house till it's fixed. Okay, yeah. So I read that. Yeah, and I'm away from my beloved PC. Maybe, well, if you're at an Airbnb, maybe we could take it. I mean, I don't know how the internet there will be, but at least we're getting brand new carpeting, wooden floor. Yeesh, that's awesome. How long are you going to be away from your place? So it's been cold. It's been so cold that the Patterson Great Falls has almost completely frozen over. I don't think I've ever heard of that. That's pretty crazy. I bet it looks cool. Frozen. But horrible managers at that place. Yeah, it was terrible. I'd be out for blood. Paul is as intimidating as Puppy. I actually don't know if that's true. I think sometimes that's probably true. I have been told that, like, when I walk around, I just look very upset. And again, Latino with a beard, dark complexion. I think people don't take a liking to me most of the time. Out and about. I'm usually not very, like, I am not approachable most of the time. I think I'm short, and I think that helps because I look less imposing that way, but I don't think, I think once people know me, they're like, oh, he's not really that intimidating. But again, also, I think my eyes are, like, I have studio lights pointed at my eyes right now. Look how dark they are. No light hits them. So I think they're less inviting, I would say, than you know, people with much nicer eyes. Even people who have light brown eyes, I feel like probably look nicer. This is just different because I smile while I'm on stream and you see me in good lighting. Or in as bright lighting as I can handle. Yeah, the gift cards. That was such a slap in the face. I was like, Papa John's and Chili's? Like, ridiculous. It was also, like, for not very much. I imagine what it was like, because they came in, like, a pack, I was like, I feel like these are probably, like, the company just probably has these for, like, employee rewards or something, you know? Like, yeah, I don't remember how much. They were not for very much. It was, like, maybe 3 gift cards, 2 were Papa John's, 1 where it was Chili's or something. I can't remember. It was, and it was not like, probably in total, it was still less than $100. I think it was maybe like the Papa John's were 20 each and Chili's was 25 or 30 or something. It was not at all, like, worth it. Completely unhelpful in all ways, yeah. So they can spend money on restaurant gift cards, but not discount your rent at that amount. That's why I was like, it makes me feel like they were probably already, like, they have these on hand for employee rewards or something. Because it's like an easy, we'll just give him the gift cards, whatever. We won't have to actually give him anything because we've already spent money on this, you know? We're not spending additional money. If they were like, you know, oh, we will discount your rent because, yeah, you're right. You can't use your bedroom or closet. And it was already a small place. I had, like, a living room area, like, in a different, like, a separate room. It was like living room and a bedroom place, not like a studio. And so I was sleeping on a couch in the living room. I had to like, all of my good clothes I removed and they were like stacked on like a table. Then I had like a huge laundry basket of stuff that I need to wash because all that stuff got wet. So like it was just, and there are fans going like 24/7. It stayed that way for like a week or so. It was ridiculous. So it was like, if they were going to discount my rent and they were like, and we're sorry about all of this, here are some gift cards, then I would have accepted it. But they were like, no, here are just some gift cards. Unbelievable. Why can't they give you money? It sounds like they were giving you left. Yeah, yes. Okay, I didn't even see your message, but yes. Yeah, my pipe bursting was because the last person that fixed it did it wrong. I love story time with Paul. It was just so frustrating. I was just like, this is unbelievable. And I had lived there for a couple of years at this point. I was a good tenant. Like, it was just sort of like, okay, you guys are making this just the worst. Why is this why is it so frustrating? This will take a month. That's not, I mean, still frustrating if you're like, hopefully they get you a nice Airbnb. That would be nice. Like a nice little vacation. But I like you. Well, you guys see me and know me here. It's different when I'm out and about. I don't like, yeah, I don't know. I'm very, what's the word? What's the word? I'm not as smiley as I am on stream. And I'm very, with new people, very suspicious. Very suspicious of people. So I don't know. I'm just, I think when I'm out and about, I think I'm probably very like, I'm not super expressive, I think, when I like am out and about. So I think people are probably just like, that guy looks angry. And and also again, I think dark complexion, beard, Latino, I think a lot of times people are like, I'm gonna just stay away from this person for which, it's fine. I typically am not out to talk to strangers, so if I am walking around somewhere, I usually have like a goal, like I need to go buy something or find something, and I'm just out to do that, and then I'm going home. So I'm not very like, whatever. Fun size. I said I was telling YV, I was like, I think a good size to hug. I'm like at a good comfortable level for that. My mom's house got damaged in a hailstorm, and she got put up in the fanciest skyrise apartment for a year as the insurance company didn't have a cap on how. What? Jem, that is incredible. I want to live in Australia and have a hailstorm destroy my house. Is that fair? I actually have heard that, I think Wivey was telling me that, like, hailstorms damage y'all's, solar panels every, like, in a bad storm or whatever. I feel, I heard that that's a thing. And maybe not quite damage my home. That's probably, That's probably not. That's probably not great. It's still, again, it's still not fun to be displaced. Even though, I mean, Skyrise apartment, at least they like, they went above and beyond for that. I feel like if that happened here, we don't have skyrises here really. We have one hotel that's like one of the taller buildings here. But our downtown is not very like built up. So, they, you know, it's the Captain Cook Hotel is the like, it's the nice hotel, I guess. Why was I there? Oh, wait, was I delivering something? No, yeah. Wait, what was I there for? I think it was, I worked for a place where I had to install... Yeah, they had like artwork. I worked for a place where I had to install artwork at different places. I'm trying to be as general as possible. And the hotel had like some artwork that we were replacing or something. That's the only time I've walked in there. But it's like, apparently there's a restaurant at the very top of it that's nice. I think it, maybe it doesn't rotate. Maybe I made that up. But it's like the nice hotel, and it's like the tallest or one of the taller buildings downtown. But that's like, I'm trying to imagine if like something like that happened to me, like where they were like, we have to put you somewhere. I don't think that would happen. I think they would just be like, your lease is done. Goodbye. You go find another place. Was so sick. Gorgeous view and nice amenities. Huge sauna, spa, lap pool, thermal stone room, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. That's so fancy. I'm not even quite sure what that means. Whatever that was, I never really figured it out. I just laid on the big rock. What was in it? Was there just a big rock in the room? 5357 is like my kryptonite. I don't think I have a height preference. Yoink. What is a thermal stone room? There is a big rock in this one picture. It's a hot stone. What does the hot stone do? What does it say to you? Does it tell you things? What is the hot stone supposed to do? It was like a bit flat slab in the middle of the room. It told me its secrets. I mean, I'm imagining like, I mean, what I'm imagining is actually not what these pictures look like. I mean, it's actually not too far off. I'm imagining like a large room, like a huge room, abnormally large room, probably very dark lighting, and there is just a single large stone in said room. And so I'm imagining it tells you things. You pour water on it. I'm trying to I found I don't know if this is, well, actually I can't tell. That's probably just a seat. I'm seeing like, oh wait, is this it? No, that's just not it. You know, maybe if I search for thermal stone spa? No, that's people putting stones in your back for some reason. What is this? Hot stone spa. I feel like this is the idea, but it's not quite what I'm imagining also. Is it? I think the lay down parts are the black and the marbly brown spots, and you just lay on it. Is that it? But like, was it like a raised slab? Say don't either. I'm 5'10". All my exes have been my height or taller. Yeah, that sounds fancy. I mean, I feel like there is sounds like a room meant for a lizard. It does sound like that. Oh, what? This looks even more ominous. Hold on, let me put this on stream. This looks like even more like it tells you secrets, actually. Hold on. Like, that is alien. That's literally alien technology, I feel like. Like, legitimately, that you lay on the stone, the room starts spinning, it tells you things. It tells you your future. Something like that. It tells you, you know, it whispers you numbers that you don't really know what they go to, but there's a certain pattern or connection. The door to the left was the steam room and then had another door to a hotter steam room. Yeesh. Yeah, that looks like it looks ominous and alien. I would be confused, I think, if I was like, I don't really know what we're supposed to do here. What is this? Does it spin? I don't know. I'd be confused. I've never been a part of the fancier life. Never had the sweet life of Zach and Cody. Is that their names? Never been a part of that side of life. So I feel like there's a lot of things that I would be like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what the purpose of this is. This is too fancy for me. I definitely went to visit just to use. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you at all. I would not blame you one single bit. By the way, side note, do you guys remember when we were talking about pet peeves, streamer pet peeves? I have a new one, kind of, sort of. It's very specific. But it is definitely one that I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand what's happening here. So, let me take you through this journey. Last night in YV's stream, YV isn't the culprit. In YV's stream, someone popped in to chat. This is going to sound like this is a viewer pet peeve, but it's not. It's a streamer pet peeve. We'll get there. Just follow the journey. So, in one part of YV's stream, I'm not going to say who it was, but a partnered streamer popped in. They had the little partner badge by their name. And they said, like, hello. Hope your stream's going good. How's it going? In like 3 different messages. And as I do, I said hello to the new people coming in. What does Yoink do? So occasionally you will see up to 3 flying me's, jets on the screen. You can collect them and it adds points. You get points and there's like a leaderboard. Occasionally it'll say up here, type and then a word. And if you type that word, you then get 5 points. So Bear, Emmers, and Gigi are the top 3 right now. So if you see one, you can do exclamation point yoink to collect it, and it just keeps track of your score. So anyway, the partnered streamer came in. They said, hello, how's it going? Or like, hope your stream's going well. How are you? Or something like that. 3 separate messages. I said hello to them, as I usually do in YV stream. I welcome them in. And then I was like, because I thought I recognized their name. So here's one on the screen, by the way. So this is what it looks like. I then was like, I added them and I said, oh, do I recognize you from someone else's stream? Because I was like, their name looks familiar. And I thought maybe maybe I knew them from someone else's stream or whatever. And I thought that might be a fun, like, you know, making a connection. Like, oh, I recognize you from this other stream. Like, that's, you know, good to see you here type of thing. But they didn't respond. And I was like, at all. They actually never respond. They didn't respond to YV after that point. And I clicked on their name and realized where I knew them from. And that is because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, they came in here and they said, hello, hope your stream's going good. How's it going? They did the exact same message. And I remember on the BRB, when we went BRB, I clicked on their name and went to their stream, and they were live running a rerun. And it had been running for like 20 hours or so. And when they popped into YV stream last night, I clicked on their name. They were also streaming again. And it was like they're running a rerun and aren't actually live. But so my pet peeve is, because I think this is what they're going for, but I honestly don't really know. So weird. Yes. I think the goal is to pop into people's streams and just try to get engagement, I guess. Like, I think like somehow they got the partner badge. I remember at the time I looked into their profile, like I looked it up on the stat websites that like track everything. And honestly, it's weird. I looked throughout their entire streaming career. They started in like late 2020, I think, or 2021. They actually seem to not have any months where they hit the there was like a week where they had a few streams that hit over 75, like they had 100 or so people in just a few streams. But they did not have a 75 average for multiple months. And so I was like, how? Oh, yes, we are getting lag. Also, Johnson, welcome in. Hold on. Wait, internet. Wait for internet. It's coming. It's coming back. The internet's coming back. Give it a secco. Just in case. Wave your arms to get the signal going. Let's see. Is the bit rate climbing? Is it climbing back up? I think it's. Let's see. We're at 2,000. It should be way higher. Let's see if it'll. I'm also watching on my iPad to see how it's going. Will it come back? Will it give it a sec, everybody? You're right. Nice. Voice is stable, is it? Okay, so it's just the picture that's bad. Well then I'll keep talking then, or continuing. I've just been waiting. Yeah, I thought that was super weird to ask questions and ignore the response. Yeah. One, thank you guys for telling me that I don't have unlimited internet, so I have to buy internet when it runs out. And we're at the end of the month, or like end of the cycle or whatever. Speedrun interactions, hoping to drive attention to their channel with views, rates, follows. Yeah, and I mean, I think, so my thought is at some point this channel acquired, at some point this channel acquired the partner badge. I don't know how. Again, their viewership over the amount of time they've been streaming never seemed to really consistently hit like partner levels, but somehow they got approved. I checked the graph and it shows like in 2021 or 2022 there was like a couple of weeks where they had a few streams of over 100. Anyway, ever since then, it seems like they just pop into people's streams and do that. And I think, Jonzo, I think you're right, if you're still here, that I think they're just trying to farm engagement by having the badge, popping into people's streams, and hoping that people will click on their name and check them out. But the thing is from what I have seen, they are never really live. They just keep running reruns. So, like, I don't get it. I don't get what the point is of like what they're doing. So, oh, and what's interesting is I did some searching. Because of course I did. Because I like to do my research. And I found, okay, well, one, yes, Johnson. In some ways, I do think it's a bot, or that maybe they started off normally streaming, but now they use a bot because I'm surprised my internet hasn't like fully reset yet, or like the bits at the thing hasn't popped back up, because it usually doesn't take this long. So I do think now that it's possibly like they use a bot to do this, because like Yvy and I don't stream at the same time at all. So like the idea that this person is like doing that would find both of our streams is just weird. I feel like it's more than likely that they're like using something to like, I don't know, either find streamers who have a certain view count or something and then message there. I really don't know. But I searched for them on... Oh, no. I think on their profile, they had their Instagram listed. Went to their Instagram, and their Instagram seems to be in use from somebody. Not a ton, but like, it's a real person. What was I gonna say? I looked at the pictures they were tagged in, and in 2022, January 28th, 2022, just a couple of days ago in a few years, another Twitch streamer tagged the person on Instagram with like a screenshot of like that the person who posted this posted a picture of their chat and tagged the person, the partner, and in the person's chat they're saying, "Hello, how are you? Hope you're well," and they did tip 1 bit after that, and the person, the caption of the photo is like, "It was a very random moment, but suddenly a partner appeared in my chat, and that was it." And I'm like, have they been doing this for so long? Like, is this something they've been doing for years? That was 2022. Is it worth it? I don't really know. Also, okay, we're gonna BRB. I'm gonna try to reset my router, and hopefully doesn't like break up stream. But hopefully it fixes it, because it shouldn't take this long to get this going. So stand up, stretch, do your thing. We'll be back. Give me your thoughts. Is this a bot? Should I confront them? What should I do? Should I take him down? Should I? What's my plan? Or should I do nothing? Because what's the point? All right, BRB.
Take this pause to rejuvenate. Stand, stretch, hydrate. We will be